All right, you guys, welcome to the sixth and final class of this series. Yeah, I love the connection. And even if it's a word, I am, as I think if you've gotten to know me, a big fan of community. And even if it's dropping it in the chat, there is medicine and connection in that. I see some familiar faces. I'm so happy that you're here. And we are going to get started. I would love for us to sit. Um, yes, I'd love for us to sit. So prop your hips up on some yoga blankets or a bolster or a meditation cushion of some kind. You could sit on a block as well. You can sit cross-legged or in hero's pose. I'll show you both. Let me play a little bit of music for us, please, first. My audio should be crystal clear as I have a new laptop, so I'm very, very happy about that. No issues with that. All right, find a seat. You can, I'll kind of demo, make it cozy. Cover yourself with a blanket. Make it cozy. I'm a big fan of creating your space. Create your space. I've got a candle lit, close the door. There's something about, put your phone outside if you can. There's something about what I would just call like an energetic container or your own personal energy boundaries. That the more we protect this space, the deeper you're going to sink in. Okay, so let's just take like a couple just deep cleansing breaths together. Take a big breath in, let it out through the mouth. Do that with me a couple more times. Deep breath in. Maybe hold it if you want. Let it out through the mouth. One more time. Big inhale. Big exhale. So cross-legged seat. A block is fine. Hero's pose is when your legs are folded backwards. This helps if your knees are healthy. Hero's pose is nice if you tend to kind of round in your back a little bit. Clear your sinuses, have some tissue. So we feel what I'm just going to say, like the collective energy of all of us together. Just the feeling of like, I'm not alone. And we have each other, even if we all aren't in, relationship with each other. There is a commonality that brings us together, and there's a sweetness in that. That's important to me to recognize. All right, make any adjustments that you need to. The feeling that I have today, which actually someone dropped in the chat that I love, she said she wanted to move and be still, and I'm going to be offering both and really feeling the value of both. So let's start still. Just feeling your body or in the mind so much. How am I? Just that question, like, how are you, body? What do you need? How can I make you more comfortable? And you respond. How can I support you in being more present? How can I protect this time so that I feel safe to really drop in and be with myself? Like if you can begin to like come into more of an eagle's perspective, zoom out from the details of your life and just rise above, almost as if you're gazing down on yourself with this big open heart with total compassion. There's a wordless connection. It just is. So I've been doing a lot more pranayama. That's breath technique. I've been doing a lot more meditation myself personally. And so that tends to, when there's something in my own personal practice, it tends to overflow into my teaching. So as you begin to just really feel your whole body here and fully present to all the feels, the spectrum of emotions, of sensations, we bring it all. So we're going to do a little alternate nostril breathing to just balance the energy in the body, balance the polarities of being engaged and moving on to stillness and quiet and rest. So really that's what this breath represents. You place the first two fingers at the eyebrow center, your third eye, that seat of intuition, our ability to see and know beyond the five senses. Connecting into that, ring finger, pinky on one nostril, thumb on the other. We start by blocking the right. Take a nice smooth breath in through the left side. Fill your body. At the top of the inhale, block the left and let the breath just empty through the right, just like it falls out, like there's just not a pushing, it's just an emptying out. Follow it all the way to the bottom and then let the breath come back in through the right side, all the way, like all of the lungs fill, three-dimensionally, your hips, all around your heart. At the top of the inhale, blocking the right and exhaling and letting it just fall out to the left. So this breath, again, it represents, yoga means to yoke. Hatha yoga is sun and moon, night and day, masculine and feminine, engaged and resting, joy and pain, all of it. So let there be a peace here. And as you are breathing in and out, eyes softly closed. And there's no rush and there's no judgment and there's no perfection. There's what feels good in my body in the moment. Allow a word or a feeling that you want to manifest, magnify, cultivate, animate in your being. Whatever the feel is today, what is the antidote? What is the medicine? What is the higher vibration? What is the higher frequency? We allow the breath to be like, just like when we eat good food. It's nourishment. It's purification. In with the new and out with the old. This is a beautiful tool to have. I'm sure many of you know it. That when you're feeling in sympathetic stress mode and you need some support to shift into parasympathetic, that calmer state, it's beautiful practice to use. So just take another cycle. It's good to do it a couple of minutes. Those of you that have been with me, I love the word self-healer. Whatever tools we can access from within ourselves, that's empowerment, that supports our well-being. I'm a big fan and practitioner of really radical self-care. I need to do that for myself, and I certainly hope to encourage that to others, that it is necessary. It is not selfish. So letting that technique go as you're ready. Letting that word that you chose, let it take form in your mind. Bring in some imagery for a moment. I think when we take this time the practice is richer. If I just dove right into physical practice, you might not really be fully present. And sitting and breathing and being intentional is like a doorway in. Let this be beyond, I'm going to stretch and move and strengthen. There's a emotional, spiritual component that is rich to access, I believe. All right, how about a hand on your heart? Maybe a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Just connecting to your own body. And you can just let your chin drop into your chest. And you can let your eyes gently open. And we're going to come into a child's pose. I would say go toes close together, toes touching, knees apart, arms extended forward, forehead down. I like to place my palms flat on the ground and just feel, connection to like earth, something solid underneath holding me. Just use the words Mother Earth. And be present to, all the seasons. We are nature, we are connected to nature, and constantly in a state of change. If all you did was come to this class and sit or lay down and be present and breathe, that is a beautiful practice. So try to let go of the things that you cannot do or are not appropriate to do right now. And actually it's staying connected to your practice and mindful and present and compassionate in those moments. Sometimes watching and listening can be part of the practice if there's something that you don't want to do today. So we'll go ahead and bring it up. Come to all fours. Let every cycle of breath bring that awareness deeper in. I like that phrase of, can you go a layer deeper? Someone said that to me once as I was practicing and I loved it, so I stole it. Spreading wide through your fingers, your toes are tucked under. You're going to arch your spine, draw your shoulder blades in, take your sitting bones to the sky. Maybe there's a little bend to the elbows. And then exhale, pressing into the mat, tucking your chin. If your eyes were open, they'd be looking back at your thighs. You're pulling the shoulder blades apart. And then keep this flowing. So it's like waking up the energy in the spine. Obviously, there's the, physicality of extension and flexion. But there's also all the chakras that are very real. And as you develop a relationship with them, not that I'm assuming you haven't already, it's feeling the energy of the heart. That's the one that is most accessible, I feel. Using your breath, really exaggerate the movement in your neck, having your toes curled under, being grateful for the movement that you have in your spine. I encourage you to take a few more of these. And as you exhale, start to send your seat back towards your heels. So tucking your chin in, sending your hips to your heels, really rounding your back and then bringing it back up. And as you do that, I want you to focus on a long exhalation. Nice long exhalation. Slow it down. It is the inhale that is energizing, the sympathetic. It is the exhale, calming, grounding, parasympathetic. So that's why we often in pranayama techniques encourage a long, slow exhale. Let's take one more. We can shift our state with our breath. It is powerful medicine. Bringing it back up to all fours, we're going to take a twist from your tabletop. We're going to take the right arm to the sky, starting to open into the thoracic spine. So right arm reaches up from all fours. You can have a blanket under your knees if your knees are sensitive. We're going to thread that right arm through. Bring the shoulder down, bring your head down. Press your left hand into the floor. Maybe your gaze can turn up. Left arm can reach to the sky. Left arm can wrap around your back. I'm holding onto my right thigh. You can also just be on the ground. If you feel pressure on your neck, keep that hand on the ground. So feeling that twist in the thoracic spine and the ribs, the diaphragm gets a little bit of a massage. We open the tension underneath that right shoulder blade. We smooth out the breath as it gets uneven or rigid. And if there's any stressful expression on your face, soften it. Left hand down, unwind, inhale, reach it up. Big breath in, maybe draw that arm even further back, opening up your chest. Exhale, releasing it down. Left side, inhale. Like make the breath as important as the movement, if not more. Exhale, thread it through. If you're moving through postures and your breath is stressed, you're sending a stress signal to the body. You want to do the opposite. That right hand stays down. It can reach up or it can wrap around. I'm looking up. It's fine to look straight ahead. Since the diaphragm's in a bit of a, there's some pressure there. You might notice your breath. You have to work a little harder to keep a smooth, soft expression on your face. Right hand down, unwind it, take it back up, inhale. And exhale, release it down. All right, I'm gonna come into a squat. If you have blocks, I'm just gonna assume you all do. I'm gonna hope that you all do. I'm gonna tuck my toes under. So if you needed a block for a squat, pop my knees up. I could open up my feet and put that block, first level, second level, underneath my sitting bones. If you have a wall, you can bring yourself to the wall. My hands are coming into prayer. You don't need the block, that's great. I want you to create a little bit of tension here between your arms and your inner thighs. So I'm going to press my elbows into my knees, and I'm going to resist my knees back into my elbows, activating the inner thighs. And then relax that and see if there's a little bit of a deeper stretch. Try that one more time. Create some resistance. Knees pressing into elbows. Relax it and open. Very common that the heels don't want to come down. If that's the case, a rolled blanket underneath your heels. Common that the knees aren't going to like this. So you could have 2 blocks underneath your seat. Easier to get the breath down into the abdomen in a squat. So see if you can fill the belly here for a moment. Big inhale. Slow exhale. I'm holding this for a longer time than I usually do. Try a couple of more breaths. So I think about the first chakra in a posture like this. All of the different poses can, perhaps emphasize a particular chakra. The first chakra, the root chakra, is about cultivating a feeling of safety. We're going to bring our hands down and lift our hips up. Turning your toes to point straight ahead. I would have a block if you're feeling some tension in the hamstrings here. Let the head go. So the crown of the head faces down. If there's a lot of tension, have a soft bend to the knees. You're going to take a nice deep bend to that right knee. This is where I really like a block because I'm pretty flexible and I really like the block here. So my block is under my face. I'm going to put it at the first level. If I don't have one, I can come up onto my fingertips. Right knee is bent, right arm under your face, left arm to the sky. This is similar to what we did on all fours. I can turn the palm away, wrap it around, hold on to that right thigh, open up the shoulder, open up the back of the left leg. It'd be fine to look down if looking up your neck is not happy with. Let it go. Release the neck here again. Just allow a nice, smooth, nourishing breath in. Letting go breath out, maybe through the mouth. Sound is really good. Sound is really good. Left knee bends, left hand under your face, right arm's going to go up. You should feel a big stretch through the back of the right leg. You can wrap your right arm around, hold on to the thigh, pull the shoulder back, looking up or looking down. Letting it go. All right, soft bend to your knees. I'm going to touch my feet, part of just being in the body, kind of not being cycling in the mind, is touch. So offer that to yourself. So easy, when we're in phases of stress to feel disconnected from our bodies. Bring the arms around and up. Reach through your fingertips, maybe look up. And then just bring your arms back down at your sides. And just stand with me here for a moment. So I offered before that I want to weave in and out today of moments of stillness, mindfulness, and movement. So be still with me here. Let your arms relax. I've got my palms turning forward. This is mountain pose. Easeful breath. And your shoulder blades draw a little bit further in towards the back of the heart. Soften your mouth, soften your jaw, all around the eyes. And it'd be as simple as I am breathing in and breathing out, and that is enough. My heart is beating and I'm present. If there's maybe a little smile, gratitude, and stay connected to your word. Words hold an energy and a frequency. Our beliefs so powerfully impact us. Where our attention goes. That phrase, energy flows where our attention goes. Let's let our eyes open. All right, I want to do some modified sun salutations. I really prefer we have blocks. I'm hoping that you have them. If these are challenging, there's something that you're being really careful with and you don't want to do it, watch and breathe with me. Move in your mind with me, or modify in whatever way feels wise. We've got blocks at the third level underneath each hand. If you've got 4 blocks, because flexibility, there's range of motion that's a bit of a limitation, then you've got that set up as well. Starting in our mountain pose. Just feel your feet. See if you can find an equal footprint. Heels, little toe side, big toe side. Can we not be gripping in our toes? Can there be a softness there? Can we feel like a strong spine, a strong center, but soften around the skin, around the eyes, and our expression? Again, I keep inviting you in a layer deeper. There's so much power in cultivating a deeper relationship, a deeper intimacy with ourselves. And I think this practice offers that. But we're going going to inhale and the arms are going to reach out, around, and up. Palms facing in. Just hold this for a moment. Turn your palms to face each other. Lift your belly in and up, kind of towards the spine and up. Maybe engage your quads a little bit by lifting your kneecaps. And then make sure you're not kind of tilting the pelvis, keep your pelvis in a neutral position. We'll come into a chair pose, bending your knees, bring your hands to the blocks. Neck is a natural extension of the spine. My head isn't dropping, and I'm not looking up. I feel my quads. I feel my glutes. Straight spine. Shoulder blades drawn in towards the heart and shoulders away from our ears. So that alone is just strength, a little fire for us. Now bring some weight into the blocks and send the right leg back. Maybe take a few steps back, go for it, bring that right knee down. So not only do we open up the hips, we open up the hip flexors, we open up the psoas, which basically connects the leg to the spine. Pretty important muscle. Inhale, arms reaching up. When we are in a stressed state, often that muscle will get gripped. It will get tight. It can cause hip pain, lower back pain. So breathing space into that right hip as you reach through your arms and lift up out of the waist. And bring the hands back down. Lift that right knee. Strong in your legs. Your hands stay on the ground or on the blocks. For a moment, push that right heel back as you drop the left thigh down. Again, neck is an extension of your spine, and I'm not rounded. I'm going to step the right foot back into that chair pose. Feeling my legs strong. Push down and rise up. Inhale. Fill the body up. Let's pause. Exhale. Maybe your hands want to go to your heart, or a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. Can you slow down enough to just feel your own heartbeat? And can you shape the breath in a way that your heart says, thank you? Use the breath to create coherence in the body. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, arms reaching up. Fill up, fill up. As you exhale, come back into that strong chair pose. Maybe your fingertips are just brushing the blocks without really bringing weight there. And be grateful to be together, moving together. Send your left leg back. So bring some weight into the blocks. Maybe it needs to be a few steps. Maybe you can send it back in one. Bring the knee down. So this is kind of going to be like basis of our movement, and we'll do some other standing poses with it. Opening up that psoas muscle on the left side. We send a signal of safety to the body. Opening it up, reaching the arms. This balance of really what I would call masculine and feminine energy in the body, strong and soft. Engaged without tension. Hands are going to release. We lift that back thigh, hold it for a moment, kicking the left heel back so we get that calf stretch. My right thigh is dropping low. My pelvis is nice and square. I'm aware of everything from the crown down to the toes. To be in our bodies. We feel more present, we feel more calm. Left foot's going to step to the top. We're in that squat, that chair pose. It's a little fiery. Feel your strength. Feel your heart beating. Push to stand. Inhale. Again, find that pause, that stillness with me. Maybe hands on your heart or belly, one of each. Just feel the aliveness in your body. And have all kinds of compassion and reflection on your courage, on your journey. All right, we're going to change up the poses. We're going to stay with this. Inhale, arms reaching up. So we will do some poses on our back, but we're going to create a little heat here. Coming back down into your chair. I'm going to step the right leg back again. I'm going to keep my heel lifted. If you feel balance is an issue, keep your hands on the blocks. Another option would be to turn this into a warrior one and plant the back heel down. Consider dropping that left thigh a little bit lower. Some of you might bring hands to the top of the left thigh. Maybe you walk it in, upright with your spine, arms reaching up. Maybe a little deeper lunge. Steady your gaze, strong and soft. Engaged without tension. Use the breath to soften. Hands are going to release down if they're not already. Bend the back heel down so your foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Keep the blocks there. Come on up to stand. So your heels should be intersecting. Pretty wide stance. If I get particular, if I open my arms and drew a line from my wrists straight down, they're intersecting your ankles. Nothing needs to be perfect. Arms open out from your shoulders, gaze over that left hand. Warrior pose. Lunge into your left knee as you push your right heel down. We tend to collapse the back arch on that right foot. The outer edge of the foot seals down. The knee tracks over the toes. That keeps the knee safe. So these are more masculine poses. We're engaged. There's muscular energy. There's heat. There's effort. We'll do some more passive ones towards the end. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Take your right arm up by your ear. If you're wanting more, that left hand could come to the block, to the outside of the foot. Sometimes it's taught to the inside. We're going to bring it up. Both legs are straight. Take the right arm down. Take the left arm up. Breathe into the left side of the body. Lift your belly up and out of the waist. See if there's a little soft expression on your face. Soften any tension between the eyebrows. I catch myself doing that. We send a softer signal to the nervous system when we're not doing that. That's like to be alarmed, that expression on our face that we can have. You're going to bring your left hand and slide it down your shin. Sometimes I'll bend my knee to get into it. You can also put the hand on the block at whatever level you want. Both legs are straight. If you're concerned about balance, you can do this against the wall. Press your hips forward, rotate that right shoulder open to stack over the left. Right arm reaches up. You want more, the left hand goes lower. You want more, the feet go a little wider. Breathe, feel that left inner thigh and that right waist. Fill and empty. So it's really good to put the body in a quote unquote, stressful state, softly, mildly, and you relax inside. It's like resiliency. It's like training the nervous system to be in a slightly stressful state and to relax inside. We're going to windmill the arms around. I'm going to flip this block so they're at the third level. Bend my front knee again. I usually have to kind of resituate my feet. And we're stepping back to the top of the mat. You're back in that chair pose, push to stand, inhale, reach up, fill up all the way, all the way, all the way. Like you got sunlight coming into your whole being. Exhale, find the pause with me. Just breathe. Visualize yourself in a really beautiful, beautiful place. Where you feel the most yourself, the most free, the most at ease, the most expanded. That's exactly where you are. We're going to move through this other side. Inhale, arms reaching up, fill up. Appreciating that breath in. Exhale, coming back into your strong chair pose. Feeling the strength of your legs. The left leg's going to go back. We're taking a high lunge or a warrior one. Hands can be on the blocks. Hands can be on the thigh. Our arms will stretch up. Of course, we're balancing here. Maybe there's a deeper lunge. A teacher once offered to me, this is probably 20 years ago, I should be able to come have a seat on your right thigh and you won't topple over. So the sense of you've got to be super present, really super present. Okay, hands are going to come back down. Spin the back heel down, open the foot. So it's parallel to the back of the mat. Keep those blocks there. Come up to standing with me. So love the word warrior pose. Arms open up. And turn your palms up. You can turn your palms down. I'm going to turn mine up. Lunge into that right knee. Knee tracks over the toes. And you relax your toes. Relax your eyes. What's engaged and what's engaged that doesn't need to be engaged. How's your breath? Right forearm to the thigh. Left arm reaches up. Our gaze turns up. Again, this right hand can come to the inside or the outside if you want to go lower. I like both. We're going to power through this right leg and bring it all the way up. Left arm down and right arm up. Opening that right side. Smoothing out the rough edges of the breath. Breathing in such a way that your heart says thank you. Coming into your triangle pose. Use the block. I tend to bend the knee. Once I have my hand where I want it, I straighten. Sacrum in, lean back, top arm up. I want to take the rounding out of the spine. We tend to arc a little bit, like the left side rib cage puffs up. I feel like I talk a lot often, really, when I teach, but I'm trying to really keep you so present in your body. Give it the loving attention that it deserves. Okay, this transition is a little, I usually have to make some adjustments, shorten my stance a little bit, back in that high lunge, and I step to the top of the mat. Strong chair, fire. Fire. Fire is transformation. Inhale, reach up. Great change with that heat. And again, meet me, maybe hands on your heart, hands on your belly. Like, what does your body want to do here? Sometimes just a simple question when we're in a state of stress. What do you need, body? To be able to relate in that way and not disconnect. So I want to take a moment. I want to do a balancing pose, and then I'm going to have us lie down. I'm going to give you two options. If you want more fire, you would do eagle. If you want something softer, I'm going for softer. I would do a tree. I'll show you eagle as well. So tree, foot can be on the inner thigh or it can be on the ankle, and arms can reach up once you're there. Try to have your chin level. Eagle is right under, chair, right over. Eagle is great for the lymphatic. That's one reason why I like it. We're getting that squeeze in the groin. We're getting squeeze under the underarms. So really two very different. That's a good balance. That's a good example of a more masculine versus a more feminine balancing pose. When you're done, shake it out a little bit. To feel comfortable with a little wiggle and a little being loose, and to even just notice culturally how that might be odd. And we get to do it anyway, because we get to play on the mat, other side. Change is, yeah, I think, there's discomfort with change, but it's part of our evolution. Our soul's evolution, maybe I could say. Again, bringing in that smile. I'm happy to be with all of you. I'm happy that we're together. We'll have about a few minutes after our practice today to connect if you want to stick around. All right, let that go, shake it out. Maybe one big breath in, letting it go. All right, please find your way onto your spine. Find your way onto your spine. I need like an hour and a half, y'all, today. We're gonna go knees together. One of my favorites, internal, external rotation of the hips, so important. Feeling the internal rotation of the hips. How's your breath? How's your heart? I have a few people in my life that rather than saying, how are you? That's what they'll say. How's your heart? I like it better. Depending on who's asking. Let your arms stretch up overhead. We take an inhale here. And exhale, knees to the right. Letting that left hip open. Some of these are nice. It can be done just, before sleep. In the morning. To the left. Letting the breath move all the way down into your belly. You want to get that vagal tone when the diaphragm moves. It massages the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is your attaches from the brainstem and threads all the way through all the heart, and lungs, and the belly, and digestion. Our digestion can get wonky when we are stressed. So those deep belly breaths. Invite in any sound, especially if you just feel the comfort to do it. Invite some sound that activates something. That's why we chant in yoga, mantra, or what's called kirtan, chanting, or just singing in general. Why it feels so good. Right ankle over the left thigh. So if nothing else, just allowing a sigh. Take that right knee, press it away. You can stay here. You can interlace around the left shin, opening up that hip. It's like if we could let the whole practice be a mindfulness practice. If we could let the whole practice be a pranayama, breathwork practice. Allow it to be a meditation, really. Moving meditation. Let's switch to the other side, left ankle. Press the knee away, foot can stay on the mat, pick it up, interlace. Often in yoga, it's in through the mouth, or in through the nose and out through the nose. But I think an exhale through the mouth feels really good. We're going to release that. Let's take a happy baby, reaching for your feet. Here's your squat variation. Those of you that just can't do a squat because the knees don't want the pressure, the hips don't want the pressure, this is a great option. Very similar. I like to open my knees a little bit more. Again, in the squat and in this position, a little easier to bring the breath way down into your hips, into your belly. All right, I'm going to bring my knees in. I want to offer that you actually rock up for a moment. So if spinal rocking feels good, do a few of those. Really roll like a ball. Really, really roll like a ball. You can do that once or twice or 3 times, or just roll up once. All right, I want to get a twist in. So if I show it to you this way, like my right leg is in almost like a pigeon and my left leg is folded back. It's the same thing that we did on our back with the internal external rotation. Knees stay to the right, but we twist around. So knees to the right, left hand twists around, walk it to the back on your hands, release your neck. You can bring your forearms down. But sometimes when to even notice like if there's tension, where is it? And a really sweet visualization is like, if I feel tension in my chest, can I bring the breath in there and move it out? I move the tension out with my intention, with my visualization, with my breath, through center to the other side. We need all of our support. We need our people. We need our practitioners. We need our modalities for sure. But when there's things and tools we can access from within, really important. You have moments you can't sleep. How do you self-care? How do you take care of yourself? Those kinds of things. When there's stress and there's not someone there in the moment, how can you be that ally for yourself? All right, bring it back and around. Let's try a little butterfly. Not everybody's going to like butterfly. I'm going to offer it. If you don't like butterfly, just lie down because that's where we're headed. We're going to take Shavasana. I'm going to give you a little longer one. Butterfly, my legs are at a diamond shape. I could be seated on a blanket. I'm not collapsed in my pelvis back here. I'm sitting up. That's why I might need to have that blanket underneath, and I'm just letting everything fold in. I'm not expecting you to be as flexible. I'm just letting your head fall. You can put a block. I think it feels really delicious in my back and in my hips. And then you can play with that visual and imagine big butterfly wings on your back. If you'd like, stay there. I'm going to come sit with you. Okay. Give yourself any other movement that you need. And let's lie down together. Let's lie down together and let this be like the dessert, like the integration, the sweet part. Not that we're closing. No, I'm bringing everything to these few moments of stillness. And in that stillness, I always like to think of, be in the heart rather than be in the mind, and be in a state of listening rather than a state of thinking. Invitation to go deeper into your own heart. There's a nice big inhale and an exhale that wants to happen. Let that happen. as you begin to come back, and really, if you want to stay, stay. Good 20 minutes Shavasana is always good. I'm going to offer this reading. I may have offered it already, but I'm going to read it again. And it's from the book called Broken Open, and this excerpt is the Phoenix process. When we descend all the way down to the bottom of a loss and dwell patiently with an open heart in the darkness and pain, we can bring back up with us the sweetness of life and the exhilaration of inner growth. When there is nothing left to lose, we find the true self, the self that is whole, the self that is enough, the self that no longer looks to others for definition or competition or anything but companionship on the journey. So big breath in together, empty out. Check in with how are you? How are you, body? Go ahead and make your way onto your side. We transition from a posture that is about shedding and letting go to a posture that is like, rebirth, really. Child's pose on your side. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed. We'll find our way to seated. We want to feel that strong spine, that strong center. We bring our hands to prayer in front of the heart, and really just we are acknowledging with the word namaste, you are acknowledging your own divinity and you're acknowledging it within the other. Namaste. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for